So to shift gears slightly, you started a second channel. So
Yeah.
I wanted to know about the process, your mind kind of took about that, and why in particular did you decide to start a second channel?
Well, to kind of give a little bit of background, gaming, as far as ad rates go, which ad revenue is a primary source for a lot of YouTubers, although it's smart to diversify your income, not all of your eggs in one basket. And the ad revenue is not so great in gaming. And I imagine that's because, it's the audience, the age groups, their inclination to buy something. So your revenue per thousand views, which is a metric that YouTube uses, quite low. So you have to get lots and lots of views to make it in gaming. Doom is more niche now, so it's not like a Fortnite where millions of views. So I thought, well, if I want to look at this from a business perspective, what other avenues can I take alongside this passion channel to make money? So the second channel started, and it was everywhere. It started anywhere from tech news to dad advice to everything. And I finally settled in on the Reddit niche that, if you want to touch on that here in a little bit as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, let's talk about that because it's such an amazing idea and concept. So in your own words, could you explain what your second channel is now, and like, what your videos are basically?
Yes. So I thought, well, you know what? What can I do to really find something I like? I've done a couple little audiobook readings on acx.com, freelance voiceover. And I thought, well, I've been a Redditor for years now, and people are reading these stories like audiobooks. Why am I not trying this? I love voice. And so I jumped right in and read them, and people, caught on a little bit, but it wasn't until a friend of mine mentioned me on his channel, had me as a guest narrator, that I began to grow an audience with it. And even still yet, it's a smaller one, as I've mostly shifted back toward Doom for now, which is another interesting point. But to read the stories of people in the form of an audiobook, dramas, and just the intensity of what they have, that is what that second channel is.
That's so cool. That's such a fun idea. And I think for other people, I think that could be a great way that other people can get involved, in channels that maybe they want to start a channel that they like the broadcasting or the voiceover stuff. I mean, I saw a TikToker that he literally reads tweets and he reacts to
Oh,
it. Yeah. And
yeah.
like that's his thing. And I never would have guessed someone would have made a business out of it. But it's kind of a similar concept, although it's much shorter. And I see you put tons of work into your videos. Not nothing against him in
Yes, yes,
particular,
no.
but it's quick and easy. He just reads the tweet. And actually, my wife's the one. My wife's the one who's like big into it. And at first, I was like, "How are you watching this?" Because like, why don't you just go on Twitter yourself? But then she was like, well, I like to hear him laugh and I like to hear his reaction and things like that. And it's the same thing with your channel. And I was reading some of these comments on your channel before we started, and a lot of the people just love to hear the story in your voice. And that's such a unique thing that you could bring into the table. So I love that idea. That's so cool. So
Every reader will bring a story in their own way. And if you look at the core of YouTube, storytelling is its core. You have to tell a story, captivate the people, and engage them. It does not matter what niche you're in. If you're in Doom, tell the story of something that happened. If you're in Reddit, tell the story of what these people said. If you're in real estate, captivate them and really get them into learning how to get a license, hypothetically.
Yeah, thanks for that. So with that being said, that second channel, you got monetized so fast. Could you talk a little bit about that? What were some of the things that, I mean, I think our channel, it took us almost a year or two. It all, meshes together now, but how did that roll out for you? What was your plan in the beginning? Did you kind of have like bullet point guidelines that because you made it happen, and you should be very proud of that. So what was
Thank
your
you.
process like for that?
Well, everything is different in the second niche. I come from originally gaming, where the revenue per 1,000 views is low, and so it took me almost two and a half years to get monetized on my gaming channel. So I had to have a perspective shift to see that there are other things and other avenues out there. This was about 4 months. When I first started, I made these shorter videos. It didn't really take off well.
Hmm.
And when I started the Reddit videos, they're long form, 15, 20 minutes. Watch time is the goal that you want. You need to have a certain amount of watched hours on your channel to be monetized and subscribers. Those long videos shot the watch time up, up, up. That combined with, cannot be thankful enough to Rob, a friend of mine, who mentioned me on his channel, let me come on his channel as a guest narrator, vouched for me. I was able to have some audience from his channel. Because a lot of times when you're on social media, people say, I want a shout out. I want a shout out. But what matters is what you do with that shout out. Because I could go on my Doom channel and say, go check out this Fortnite creator.
Hmm.
And he might get an initial search, but then it would die off because one, there's no connection. And two, he may not have been able to retain that audience. That's the whole point. So when Rob did that, I thought, okay, I have to double down, continue making videos. What can I do to retain them? What do they like, and how can I give that to them as my audience?
Yeah, and I think that's such a great point, especially because a lot of people hear the word collaboration or shout
Yeah.
out, and they're like woo, but we've experienced
Yeah.
firsthand, and we've obviously discussed this before, that those things do work. And I mean, you've had two instances, and both drastically different, but one in the beginning with your Doom channel, just that first bump, and then one with your second channel. So that's really interesting to hear that those both helped